Newsom will break with tradition this year. In the first year of his new term, Newsom will skip the typical State of the State address, and instead he will be taking his message on the road. Our political reporter Greg Lee joining us now to explain what this will look like. Greg?
Yeah, Alex, the governor will take a new approach to communicating his goals and plans for the state this year. Instead of a formal address to the legislature, he'll deliver messages at 4 stops next week. They've yet to be finalized, but the Bay Area is expected to be on the list.
A California way forward. The California way.
Governor Gavin Newsom will go his own way this month. Newsom will not deliver a traditional State of the State this year, instead opting for a 4-stop tour of the state next week, where he'll announce plans and priorities. A spokesperson said this: building on his inaugural address and January budget, the governor looks forward to fulfilling his constitutional obligation to update the legislature on the state of the state and joining lawmakers throughout California to outline new policy proposals that will strengthen our communities.
This revamping of this idea is an interesting one because, again, if his idea is I can get very close to the constituent by showing up, he may be onto something there.
The state constitution requires the governor report to the legislature each calendar year on the condition of the state. Newsom will fulfill this by sending a letter.
One of the things that Newsom talked about was his difficulty with giving a long speech because of having to read a teleprompter and his issue with dyslexia.
It's a break from tradition. California State Library Communications Manager Alex Vassar says speeches began accompanying the reports in the 1940s. Last year, Newsom delivered the speech from a Sacramento auditorium. In 2021, amid COVID shutdowns, he spoke in an empty Dodger Stadium. Democratic legislative leaders support this change.
I think, if anything, this helps to build the relationship between individual members and the governor, particularly at a time when we have almost a quarter of the body is new. So I think it's great.
Tom Lackey, chair of the Assembly Republican Caucus, tweeted this: the format of his message is less important than its contents. Under the governor's leadership, inflation, crime, and homelessness soared. Wildfires got worse, and we made almost no progress on water storage. Now, Governor Newsom faces some headwinds, including a budget deficit that amounts to at least $22.5 billion this year. The 4-stop tour set to run March 16th through the 19th.